This is Anka Metcalf with TradeOutloud.com. Welcome to my pre-market game plan for the major future indices, gold and oil, for today, Wednesday. It is March 22nd. It is 8:50 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to start with the daily chart. So we did have the climactic run. We did have the pullback. We have the setup that failed yesterday, although we had good indication that we were sitting on support for a continuation higher. In fact, yesterday we did trigger a daily buy of this support level, and the price was also sitting on the 20-period moving average, and we have the collapsed to the downside. Now take a look to the left hand side. We have a cluster of support that is residing here at 20,610, and we have another area of support that is at 20,516, 520 area. So with that being said, we are still into a support area all the way into this 20,500 area. Going back to the hourly chart to determine the bias for today, we had a continuation lower. We established a new low at 20,550, and we have created a cluster of resistance. So this a cluster of support. So this is what we were looking. This is what we are looking for within the day today. Support here. We have resistance here, 20,600. So if we break above the 20,600, we have a lot of room to continue higher all the way into the 650, 700. So we have a large target area. We do also have a large target area going to the downside, taking into consideration that we have support at 550, and we have established that we have a daily support at 516, 520, and we also have another support level at 500. We also have secondary support levels all the way into 20,377. So that is going to be our next support level moving forward. So today it's going to be a double take on the buys. Today would be a appropriate day if you consider hedging against indices themselves. It's going to be very tricky, as at this point it is a toss of a coin, higher or lower. You can consider this as a high over 600 and a short under 550. Let's take a look at the S&P 500 index. The S&P 500 index had a bigger bounce in the overnight session, and actually that started with the European session starting with 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. They have established a support level at 2332.25. This is the support level right here from which the price bounced, creating another shelf of support, 2337. And if we take out 2341, we have room to continue higher to 2350, 2360, 2370 area. So these are going to be the max targets. However, if we break below the 2337, it's going to be a little tricky. Price is going to try to come back into the 2332 and actually continue lower. So we are looking at a toss of a coin here as well in the S&P 500 due to the very weak support level that we have established right now. Room to continue lower, not much room compared to the mini Dow. Room to continue lower into 2325. And also, if we breach that level, the next area of support is 2300. So that is about 40 points away from where it is trading right now. Let's take a look at Nasdaq, and Nasdaq was the strongest one, and I'm going to start with the daily chart on Nasdaq because we need to understand what's happening with support resistance on a daily level. So yesterday the fall came right into the support area at 53.28, and we did have a follow through in the overnight session. You can see that bottoming tail all the way into the 5300 area, testing 5314. We still have a lot of room to continue lower into the 5300 area here. So if we get a flurry to the downside, please keep in mind this is the next support area from which price can bounce at this level. Now, going back to the hourly chart, going back to our drawing board, this is what we have for today. We have support set at 53.15, 53.40. We have resistance, and a bounce above this area can create more buying buying that can take the price higher into the 5360, 5380 area, 5400. However, if we break below the 5320, which is not that far, 5320 is going to be considered as the breakdown area for further targets into the 5300, 5275, and further lower. Let's take a look at oil, and keep in mind that oil is going to report numbers at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We had a descent in price in oil as well yesterday. Almost the price went climactic beyond the support level here at 48.50. It was a very hard fall. However, yesterday, like I said, it was a very hard read for oil to continue either higher or lower. It was a 50-50 shot at this from the open, because we had multiple support levels within support area. So bounces off this support area that were at 48.80, around that area, 48.60, even 48.90 area were possible. So we did have a choppy kind of sideways price action, grind lower into the very early hours, into midnight actually, and after midnight the price started to decline. European session started 3 a.m. in the morning, took the price lower, stabilizing price 47.50. Now keep in mind that this, when we look on the daily chart, we do have support that is holding here at a 47.40 area all the way into $47. So we may see a flurry to the downside. However, this technical chart is going to be highly influenced by the oil numbers that are going to come out at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Let's take a look at gold, and gold is actually setting up for a breakout at this point. Very, very bullish. It has coiled throughout the entire night, with support at 1243.80 and resistance 1248.50. A break over this area, actually 1248.50, 1249 area, can unleash more buying power. That can more buyers, it can find more buyers above that area. That can take price into 1260 and 1261, 1262 max target. So that is about 10 points away from here. So that is a really, really big target. At this point, the risk is about 5 points right here. The reward would be probably considered, but it's not going to go there probably in one shot. But all in all, so 10 points is going to be about 2 to 1 reward to risk ratio here if we consider this range. Stops should be considered under 1244, and triggers should be considered over 1249. This is all for today. Thanks so much for joining with more trade ideas. See you on the other side.